I got a small position.
Huh?
I got a small position on UJ. Just gonna give it a try.
UJ.
Buying or selling, Koo?
Well, from what I seen, I want to sell $1, to be honest. But
So you're going to be buying gold?
yeah, they must be expecting good stuff for the US. I don't know, Ricardo. Maybe we should just watch it. What do you think?
I'm not here to.
I don't know what to do. I'm scared.
You're scared?
I'm scared, Eric. Maybe you can tell us what we're gonna do.
Ask Roger.
Huh? What? What'd you say you're gonna do? What you gonna do? Oh shit, I didn't post no signal. Whoops. Man, I seriously think they're gonna drop the US dollar on this one.
The gold keep going down.
Man, I was not expecting this kind of anticipation. I was expecting the dollar to keep dropping and then spike up, but they're trying to push the dollar up.
Gold is buying, right?
What's up?
Buying, right? Yeah, buying a gold, right?
I didn't say I was buying gold, but from what I seen here, you see the anticipation of they're trying to push gold down, but then gold's coming back up. Now,
No, the US if the US dollar is weaker, the gold is go down, right? Sorry, gold is go higher, right? I believe.
Yeah. Now we'll see in 59 seconds here. We'll see how much you're gonna see a lot of anticipation. So I'm gonna show you guys this anticipation. It's 59 seconds. Here we go.
Right.
All right, Eric. Now what do we do?
US style.
What we do, man?
Three.
Oh no, dude. I'm getting scared. That's really strong anticipation here. USD Swiss franc up real quick. 25 seconds. Ooh, what we gonna do? What we gonna do, guys? 10 seconds.
Sell gold. Sell gold. Sell gold.
All right. Look at that. You see those? It did drop it. I knew it. See how gold spiked up? The anticipation. Look at that.
Is that the
Look at
man?
that. You see that? Look at that. Oh, you see that?
Oh shit.
You see that? Isn't that crazy? It's crazy, right? On the 1 minute chart, it's really crazy on the 1 minute chart. Look at that. USD Swiss franc spiked down and then spiked right back up.
What the?
What? What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
Oh no, because what I saw was two anticipations. They're trying to push the dollar up, and the problem with that is if we want to buy the dollar, then you're already buying already, and then a lot of people, you can see how USD Swiss franc is pushing up right now. And
Yeah.
so it's tough because a lot of people get mistake within the first and gold spiking down now. So you get to see two markets moving, pushing against each other. The initial spike and then the last spike is going to be the push. And so now on trading view here is pretty slow. So what I'm going to do is I need to find another software that can be faster and respond faster as soon as the news hits, because if I record and if I actually record, so not from Payroll was better than expected. You see how much it went up, 313,000 against the previous 239,000. So that is huge. That was the number that they're looking for, an increase of jobs. Okay, but they dropped it down but the unemployment rate was the same as last, so nothing really much, but they dropped it down for unemployment, but they spiked it up and down for payroll. Okay, so people get mistaken because when they first see the initial spike, then they get scared, and then they just get out, and then all of a sudden it spikes right back up. So it's not about the initial spike. The initial spike is always going to come down to whatever news is bad. No matter what, there's got to be no matter what. So right here, the average hourly earnings, and also now unemployment was worse than expected. But the non-farm payroll jobs was the most important thing that they were looking for. Like I said yesterday on the webinar, they're looking for the most important thing. And you're going to see a lot of retracements right now because they're looking at these major economic data right now. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, but after the initial spike, then you get the big spike going back up or down. That's the second spike is pretty crucial and important to pay attention to, especially when you use the 1 minute chart like this. So it can get confusing sometimes because there was a lot of anticipation for this week for non-farm payroll. Where they're trying to push the dollar still. Well, either way, they're gonna jack up the dollar anyways. I'm gonna show you why. I'm gonna show you USD CAD here. So USD CAD went down, and I'm still selling all my CAD pairs. Euro CAD dropped the most. So I'll show you. Let me show you the 15-minute chart. So you can see USD CAD went down. Everything was positive for Canada. So that's why I said don't touch Canada. You're gonna trade Canada. You're gonna trade USD CAD. You're gonna lose more money if you try and buy it. So that's why you were better off selling it. I show you there's two red news for Canada here. not so much. They're looking for the unemployment rate, which is better than expected for Canada here. So very important that there's specific data that every economic and investor or banker is always looking for. And then now I just have to wait for the retracements, and then I don't think there's anything else to look at. Let me go here. You guys got any questions about non-farm payroll?
Yeah, it blew my account out.
Hey, what?
Yeah, it was cool though. I didn't have a lot.
Oh.
It was cool.
I was like, what?
Yeah, no. But what was so is that what they usually do then? They spike it up and then they spike it in the direction of where it's actually supposed to go. Is that?
Well, most of the time, it just goes one way. Most of the time. The reason why there was a lot of anticipation before the news, and then also the last 59 seconds before release, there was another anticipation, and then
Right.
there is so much volatility, and the markets are trying to push one way to the other way, and so it confuses people. So when you see markets pushing back and forth so much, then I don't expect anyone to hop in right away unless they have enough money to cover. But that's why it's important if you just set the buy stop and sell stop, then whenever, because you end up making whenever the spike down, they'll cancel that order and you make profit on that. But then the major spike was one that was pushing up, and you want to. It's kind of hard to get in on the second spike of that candle. So what I do is I just put a smaller lot size, so that way I have enough, so I don't get cut out versus doing a standard. And then after they pushed it down, then they spiked it up, and then that was the best time to take profit. So I don't ever swing on non-farm payroll unless everything was positive for non-farm payroll. Like unemployment was positive, the average wage earnings were positive, along with the non-farm payroll.
Yeah.
So after the retracement, because after the retracement right now, in the second hour of New York, they're going to jack up the dollar again. So right now the markets are taking in all the information right now, and there's so much volatility right now. So they're looking into every single data right now, and then they're going to go ahead with the second spike, not the initial spike. So they're going to follow that second spike. Now, if the dollar was to drop back to 89, then there was no point buying a dollar then. So, but right now the dollar is still at 90.
Oh. So it's best to sell gold right now.
Or you can sell gold after the retracement on gold.
Okay. So I'm not even looking at the charts yet. Okay.
Yeah, because when it spikes down, when gold spikes down, you don't want to sell right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. I've done it before and it messed me up.
Yeah, because if we look at the 15-minute chart, you can see it spiked up, right? That's the initial spike. on the wick here, and then went back down.
Mhm.
And so people get confused, because I got confused too in the beginning, because when you see the initial spike, and then all of a sudden it'll just whipsaw right back down, and you're like, what the heck, you know? And so, like, there's so much important economic news that people was focusing on, but the most important thing was the non-farm payroll jobs. So even though unemployment and the average hourly earnings was bad, they weren't as bad as last month. They just pretty much met the same numbers. So
Yeah.
So since they added another 100,000 jobs, that's really, really positive for the growth of the economy. So after the retracement here, then they'll send gold down, they'll jack up the dollar, and you're gonna see where they're gonna try and push the trend for New York sessions. So
Okay. Right.
so right now, yeah, like I said, I mean, you have how many news releases? Because you have Canada that released too. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you had nine economic data that was, and 5 of them was red news, 2 for Canada and 3 for US. So a lot of heavy volatility with Canada pairs and US pairs. So you're gonna see retracements from now and for the next 20 minutes until 8 o'clock. So when 8 o'clock hits, a couple of minutes after that, they're gonna try and push the dollar back up and go down. All the CAD pairs, I'm gonna try and push the CAD pairs right back down again. Like I said, I'm not buying any CAD pairs. I've been selling them since last night. So Canada is positive today, along with US. If we were to trade USD CAD, you're better off selling USD CAD. The Canadian dollar is a lot stronger than the US, so you don't want to get yourself caught. Because if we were to buy USD CAD for non-farm payroll, you can see that USD CAD spiked down, and this is on 15-minute chart. I mean, it's retracing back up right now for non-farm payroll, but it spiked down. So you gotta watch out when you see something like this. USD CAD is not the best pair. It's the worst pair to trade, especially when there's Canada news and US news at the same time. I even talk about that in the book. So
UCAD's the worst pair to trade when they're similar news at the same time.
Yeah, when there's Canada, I always sell it. I always sell USD CAD than buying it, because you can't go wrong selling it. You have a more winning ratio for selling it than buying it. Very rarely USD CAD spikes back up. So, and there was interest rate decision. The governor's speech for Canada on Wednesday, and there's 2 major speeches for next week for Canada as well. And so I'm not going to try and buy any CAD pairs anymore. They've been up against Canada a lot, and so I mean, if you look at CAD JPY will end up going up a lot more than all the other yen pairs. So it's just one way of looking at the correlation and the inverse relationship of CAD JPY with all the like Euro CAD, GBP CAD, AUD CAD, NZD CAD, even USD CAD itself. So that's five pairs against Canada.
Right. Seems I was going to go against like what you said, because I saw gold spiking down like before the news was like, and I was like, this has got to be like a buy, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah, I was just messing with you on that one. I didn't mean to. I didn't try to get anyone mixed up. I mean, I wasn't gonna change anything. So.
Oh no, yeah, no. You in the end you were right though, because it went down, but
yeah. I mean, you can see gold still pushing back down, and it's important to see. It's important to see that if you just go to the 1 minute chart, I mean, I'm gonna highlight here. They spiked it up, and what is it hit? 1320, and then bam, right back down, almost 1312, and it's coming back to 1312 again. It's gonna break. What I'm really looking for is to break 1310 back to 1300, but we'll see how much they keep dropping gold. So
do you think it's a good time right now to get in and sell gold, or wait?
Well, I sold gold already, so I mean, if you want to, you can. And like I said, I'm looking for 1310, breaks 1310, and then I'm looking for 1300, but it'll probably range around 13. Here, I'll show you the daily chart here in the 4 hour. There's a major support that I'm really looking at. Okay. What's this? Yeah, so it is 1310. 1310 here. And then let me show you that you run through, I'll backtrack to the 1 hour here. It's a strong downtrend in 1 hour, so there's really not support here. Daily. Oh, cool. All right. So you can see that this is broken along with this, because you can see the candle is even further down right here. And then, yeah, like I said, I'm looking for 1310, but the most important thing is to come down and touch the daily lower band. That's what I've been keeping my eye on the daily lower band, which is like 1305, 1306. So we'll see how much more further they're going to drop it back.
Okay.
Have you ever tried hedging your trades on NFP?
No, never, ever. What I did back then was I always guessed on the direction of where it's going to go on that spike, and then that's it. I don't get on retracements because if everything was positive for US dollar, it would be a massive spike going up for all US dollar pairs, and gold would be spiking down pretty hard. But the only thing that was positive was non-farm payroll, and non-farm payroll was the only thing that they were looking for anyways. So
yeah, I was just wondering how the logic worked with setting up a stop buy and a stop sell with stop loss on both, and riding one out, taking the small loss on the other.
yeah, I don't do any buy stops or sell stops. I'm doing it to help you guys out, so you guys can understand on having a better winning ratio, because I'm just choosing one side. So if you want to just go with what I'm doing, then you can. You just got to be careful the high risk that you're going to take, especially for any red news. And so
that makes sense.
anything else? Usually,
That's it for me.
I mean, yeah, usually after the spike, then I just get out, and then I just call it a day. If there's something else you guys want me to look at, might as well let me know now. Because like I said, I'm done trading. I'm not gonna keep trading. So
No, I'm still playing with it. I'm scalping on a demo account, so
yeah, I don't expect anyone to just keep trading on a Friday, because I got burnt a lot on a Friday. Usually Friday is nothing but retracement state anyways. And
You thinking it's safe to scalp? I think I'm just gonna do some scalping.
yeah, if you want to scalp,
What should I do if I want to
notice
scalp?
that you want to look at the 15-minute chart. So what we see here is that gold support is here, trying to push. It's gonna push. It's gonna try and push back here to the middle band.
Okay.
And then once it hits the middle band, like I said, they're going to jack up the dollar again. So once it hits the middle band after the retracement, then it's going to come right back down. Now, the only way it'll spike right back up is if the dollar somehow just drops against all pairs. So
Right. Okay.
but right now, from what I see, I don't really think they're going to change anything because non-farm payroll was over 100,000 jobs added. So that's the highest I seen was almost, what is it, a $220,000 job increase. And that was back in April.
Wow. Okay.
That was a huge spike going up for a US dollar, and gold dropped like $10.
So it's not going to spike like this again for the whole year. Okay.
Like I said, this month, we didn't really see a decent spike because you saw the initial spike going up for gold, and then gold went right back down. And you have to be prepared, because if there's that much anticipation, that much volatility before non-farm payroll hits, then you have to expect the initial spike, and then the last spike is where you're going to try and push it. So,
Okay.
So a lot of people get confused because when they see the first spike, then they're like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm going to buy gold." But then when they buy gold, then gold went right back down. You just lost money again, so it doesn't make no sense, anyways. Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, because if you keep following the initial spike, then you're gonna miss because now if there wasn't that much volatility, and they were instead of them expecting the dollar to be, I mean, most of them actually expected the dollar to be good, to be positive for today. So the anticipation and the price was already there, set in. And
Okay. One last question. You said that today's going to be mainly reversals towards the end of
not reversals,
or retracements.
There will be retracements right now, and then I'm keeping an eye on Trump right now, because he's talking about visiting
North Korea.
So I'm keeping an eye on that because I'm watching the North Korean headlines too, because Kim's supposed to be saying some stuff today too. So we'll see if something rises against Trump and Kim in the next 2-3 hours here. So
okay. So
I know they talked about meeting up together, but we'll see in the next couple hours. I'm keeping my eye on that, because if Trump all of a sudden, let's just say in the next hour, Trump says that he's not going to meet with Kim because of this or whatever, then the dollar's going back down.
Right.
The dollar's going back down regardless. It had nothing to do with non-farm payroll now. Now it's all politics again. Any political event will drive the markets versus any economic data. You got to remember that. Political events is critical, and it'll run the markets. So it's something that's very important to pay attention to.
Okay. So it's safe to just scalp off the 15-minute at the moment.
Yeah, I would go up to 15-minute. I mean, if you want to go faster, then I would not suggest going off the 1 minute. You can get confused. Go up to 5-minute. You can see. Okay. You can see this was the candle that was whipsawing, but You can see that these candles are below. The oscillator is already it's going to hit 90 here, just like this one.
Yep.
It's going to, like I said, it's going to hit that middle band and then back down. And then the oscillator is going to push right back down again.
Okay.
Okay, so you got so this is what you want to see and follow. You don't want to say, oh, it's gonna come back. A lot of people get mistake. I got mistake too in the past where I say, oh, you know what? It found support. It's gonna come back up here. And you can see it's pushing right back down again.
Yeah.
See resistance back down, resistance back down. So you don't want to get yourself caught following the upper band and the lower band. You want to, if it's going to bounce off the middle band, it's going to bounce off the middle band or bounce off the moving average and then shoot itself back down. So very important. Yeah, I have this recorded so I can give this to you guys.
That'd be awesome. Thanks, man.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not trading. I mean, I was just getting for the spike, and then that was it. So, any questions? You guys can message me. I'll still be in the chat group.
Okay.
Last worked out pretty well.
All right. Yeah, so I'll be in the chat group.